Oh, Nelly, it is so nice to come home and have an actual air conditioner to keep your place cold, and it's not 95 degrees every night like it was last summer. Pay no attention to the bandage on my nose. It's none of your business. So I think I probably mentioned it. In addition to having the worst allergies ever this summer, I've been having really bad nasal congestion that we were kind of theorizing was probably some kind of an infection. So, like a little less, probably about 6 weeks ago, right before I got COVID, I was given some of this stuff, steroids, to see if that would handle the issue before moving on to what I got today. It worked fantastic. Within 2 hours, I had completely clear sinuses. So I took that for 6 days. That's how long it lasts. And it was great. And then about 8-10 days later, I started feeling the congestion creeping back in. And I pretty much rapidly was going back to where I was before. But the Breathe Right strips have been actually really good. And because when I'm sitting up, I can breathe a little bit better. And when I'm standing up, I can breathe pretty much fine. It's when I'm laying down mostly where the congestion starts. So we're all convinced that it's, at this point, which was kind of what we all thought in the first place, that this is a sinus infection. So I got some amoxicillin. So it started getting back to where it was before, where the congestion is so bad that I almost can't sleep because I'm getting blocked up and I can't, breathe enough. You see? So I knew, it's Monday, so I had to wait till Monday, and I worked most days last week. I literally could not set up an appointment to even talk to someone. So today, I was given lots of good Karen fodder. I was given a lot of opportunities to go full Karen over stuff that's kind of annoying, but also like really meek in the broad scheme of things. Okay, first of all, I'm on the Oregon Health Plan, which pretty much covers everything. I set up an appointment at the Columbia Urgent Care Clinic up by Mall 205, and I've been there multiple times, never had to pay, because that's part of the benefits of the Oregon Health Plan, and I've always gotten really good help when I've gone there. So when I called to get this stuff, I scheduled an appointment online. They called me and they're like, hey, do you want to do this over the phone? That might be easier. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. If I don't have to go out there to do it, fine, yeah. So we talked over the phone. I described my symptoms. She asked me all the pertinent questions, about this. Are you having odd discharge? Are you having pain around your nose? Things like that. And in the end, she figured, yeah, you've got probably some kind of an infection, and prescribed these. The prescription was sent to the Target, that's on the other side of Clackamas Town Center, because that's right up the street from me. I went over there. I got these real quick and simple, and that was it. I came home, started popping them, just popping roids, and I was fine. Within 2 hours, I went from horribly congested to breathing clear as ever. I do the same thing. I schedule the appointment online. I get the call that I was expecting, confirming that I'm gonna, that I wanted this appointment, and I didn't ask. Obviously, I would have preferred being able to do it through a phone call again. It's 90-some degrees outside. I really didn't want to have to drag my ass to the max, travel out there and back. And also, I did not sleep well last night. I slept about 4 hours, then I was awake, took that call, dealt with all that stuff, and I managed to fall asleep briefly again, but I did not get enough sleep last night. And I was just feeling sick this morning due to a lack of sleep, because the congestion was just bugging me too much. So they call, and I tell them, like, yeah, I think I need to probably get antibiotics, because when I called them 2 months ago, that was what the doctor said. If these steroid things don't work, then we'll look into antibiotics. And so I was like, yeah. So I said, when I talked to a doctor on the phone, 2 months ago, and they said we should probably go to antibiotics. So apparently the person working there took that as I'm requesting specifically to talk to somebody on the phone again, which I never did. So they're like, okay, so we'll have the doctor call you back at 10. And it was like 9:20 at this time. So I'm like, okay. So I get a call back. The person at the desk answers, and I'm alerted to the fact that they apparently don't accept my Oregon Health Plan coverage, even though every other time in the past they have. So it was going to cost me 49 bucks. I was going to get to talk to a doctor over the phone, but apparently that was going to cost like 49 bucks. So there's the first example of really good Karen fodder. I could have had that lady on the phone for 20 minutes, being like, I don't understand. Why is it costing me money now? But I mean, my main objective is my health and getting this situation addressed as quickly as possible. So if it's going to cost me 50 bucks to guarantee that I'm going to get something that's going to work better than the steroids, fine, whatever. So I had this brief conversation with her to pretty much is just me paying. So then she has to hang up so the doctor can call me back, so the doctor's on another line. Phone call, I don't even think lasted 90 seconds. I'm pretty sure it was the same doctor that I had before, which is good, because I didn't, you don't want to have to, like, explain all your stuff again and be like, I already talked to the doctor about this. They just said the antibiotics. That's all I need. I ended up, it was, like, less than, 90 seconds. And I'm like, well, that was worth the 49 bucks. So it was the Target, the CVS pharmacy over at Target, is where I got the steroids from. Is that still good? I'm like, oh, yeah, perfect. So she sends that over there. I managed to go back to sleep for like another hour and a half. I was in no rush to go in. I know it takes at least like 20 minutes for them to prepare that stuff, so I'm not in any big rush to get out there. I'm exhausted. So that happens at around 10. I sleep for a little bit longer. Around 12:30, I finally leave. Drag my ass through the heat that my tired ass does not want to deal with. Cut through the mall, get to the Target. Go up to the pharmacy. Give them my information. She's like, oh, we don't have anything for you. I'm like, what? So I'm wondering, like, my first thought is that the doctor sent it to, like, the wrong Target, even though we clarified that over the phone, and she managed to get it to the Target over there last time. But apparently, it's that I don't know if it's just CVS or if it's Target CVS's or what. They apparently also don't accept my Oregon Health Plan coverage, because I have OHSU, which you'd think would be a really good one, but apparently it doesn't work anywhere compared to the other ones. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, because I'm thinking, oh, great, so they're going to have to redirect it to another pharmacy that does do it. I'm going to have to drag my ass somewhere else in the heat to go get it. I'm just like, I want this shit, and I want to go home and rest. I haven't slept well in, like, 5 days. I just want the drugs, and I want to go home and rest. Ironic, as I'm taking the time to do this vlog, I haven't even taken my first one of those yet, and here I am being like, but I'm still very tired. Not as tired as I was. So she's looking through there, and I'm standing there like, I swear to God. I'm not mad at her. Obviously, this has nothing to do with her. She doesn't have any control over what healthcare plans they accept, over whether I made a mistake or my doctor made a mistake. That's other elements of the world. The pharmacist, that's not their problem. And I know that would have been a great moment to go full Karen. What do you mean you don't accept it? Aren't you a pharmacy? My doctor said I could get it here. That kind of shit. And finally she's like, all right, I can get it for you, but because they don't accept my health insurance. Like, she was able to see that my doctor for me put in this request for this specific drug. So she knew I wasn't just some guy wandering off the street looking for some good stuff. So she's like, I can get it for you, just we have to charge you for it. It was like 18 bucks. I'm like, fine. I don't even care. I just need the shit. I need it now so I can start addressing the problem now and not later. So whatever. But here's the topper. So because they were just at that point even processing it, she was like, it'll be about 20 minutes before we can get it for you. So I understand that, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I want to go home. So I meander around Target for a while. I'm going down aisles. I'm looking at things I would never ever dream of buying, but it's like, I need to kill 20 minutes. And you'd be amazed, even in a big Target, it's kind of hard to kill 20 minutes when you're just kind of walking. So, I went to the food area. I'm like, is there something I'm going to get? Is there something I'm going to get? And I actually didn't get anything. I didn't grab this till the last second. I was starting to think, like, I've still got a few more minutes to kill. It's going to be hot outside. I may as well have something to drink. So I grabbed this right before going back up front. So about 21 minutes later, I go back up to the pharmacy. I go up, I stop, I wait patiently About 30 seconds go by, and their gates start closing. And I'm like, hey, 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 hey. And one guy looks at me and he's like, we're closing for lunch. It'll be about 30 minutes. And I'm standing there and I'm like, all right, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm exhausted. I haven't slept well in 5 days. I particularly didn't sleep well last night. I feel like shit. I feel like I'm going to fall over. I've already got this mile walk home in the heat. I just did this 20-minute wait. I'm not waiting 30 more minutes just because you decide. And the thing is, I got there before they even started closing the gate. So, you know, I could have gone full Karen, but I was like, I was just checking to see it because it's like they told me it'd be 20 minutes and it's been like 21, 22 at this point. So I just want to check because it's probably sitting there ready and I've already waited 20 minutes. Like, I understand it's a pharmacy. They have to deal with a lot of shitty people. They probably are counting the seconds till their break. But it would have been really shitty for them under those circumstances to make me wait another 30 minutes. Fortunately, the girl that helped me up front saw me and was able to check, and fortunately it was prepared for me. So she ran it up to me real quickly and we processed it. And I tried to be kind and courteous. I didn't want them to, the last thing I wanted them to think was that I was, being pissy and being just like, oh my God, like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, you guys had acted as such a big deal. It's just one little thing of pills. I did not want them to think that. So, when I was finished, I made sure to be extremely thankful. Like, thank you so much. I'm sorry. I know you guys are trying to get off to lunch. It was just, under the set of circumstances. I was there right before the gun. I've already been waiting 20 minutes. So I was like, thank you so much for, holding that for a second and helping me out. And of course, like, another woman comes up behind me and the lady's like, sorry, we're closed for lunch. She's like, no, but I have to. And I was just like, oh, thanks, and walked away. And I'm like, jeez, I've opened up a minefield. Now all these other people are going to start coming up. That poor pharmacist is never going to get her lunch. So anyway, that's how I finally got my amoxicillin. I'm going to decide some food item, because they recommend, you don't have to, but they recommend eating some food with it to avoid potentially getting an upset stomach. And I get enough upset stomachs with my fibro. Granted, they're brief, but they're there off and on, and I'm no fan of upset stomachs. So anyway, the journey is over. I made it home to a place with air conditioning. Thank God. It's still only 2 o'clock. I have the rest of the day to chill and relax. And from what I've gathered, it does take this stuff usually about at least... Oh, wait, this is a little bit more. Because the thing I was looking at was in reference to 500 milligram tablets. These are 870. Wait, it says 875 to 125 milligrams. What does that mean? Does each of these tablets have a... I don't know. Whatever. I take it twice a day. And, but yeah, it usually doesn't kick in till about a day or two. So I may be looking at another, at least one night of poor sleep. But if this gets me past all this in the end, then whatever. That's the last big sacrifice I have to make. So anyway, I'm going to get along with my day. I'm writing a book right now. Not like I'm writing a book. I'm writing a piece based on a story that I covered in a YouTube video a while ago, and I just got the sudden desire to write about something. And I don't want to write something big and long and significant if a bunch of other people have already written about it. And so the thing I'm writing about is pretty much, it's like a kind of semi-murder mystery from 1920s Portland that nobody ever talks about, and yet it was like this big deal when it happened. So I'm writing a book about it. I might sell it for like $1 or $2 through website or Patreon, and I might also turn it into an audiobook. I'll probably use like some kind of voice thing, because doing the audiobooks is just too much on my voice, and they're kind of a bitch to edit, and I make mistakes a lot. So anyway, I'm probably going to work on that. I've got it about 2/3 of the way done. I'll work on some other stuff, make the most out of this day, and hope that there are clearer sinuses in my future. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know how my day's gone so far, and just the oddities of, the getting you drugs and stuff. Yeah, catch you later.